from my given disaster. Speed away from the holy mind. Pride, that's where I never thought it would matter. If I'm gone by now.
Hello friends, it's Brittany and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing, sorry, my dog, our blinds are closed over there and he's down there, you see him. He is trying to look out the window, so he was sticking his heads in the blinds. Let's do a retake. Thank you so much for joining me for another video. Today we're going to be doing a cooking video, and today we are specifically going to be cooking meals out of my freezer slash pantry. This is what I like to call shelf cooking. So here's what happened. This weekend I had intentions of going to the grocery store, but I ran out of time. So we're gonna be getting really creative and basically just cooking meals with ingredients I already have on hand. I wanted to quickly talk about shelf cooking because shelf cooking is really a great thing to do occasionally for a couple of reasons. One, it saves you time on going to the grocery store and getting ingredients, but it also forces you to use up ingredients that you may not normally go to or think to go to, and therefore it's going to save you money because you're using stuff that you already have on hand. You're also not going to be wasting food because, to be honest, some of the ingredients that I'm going to be using this week are ingredients I've just had on hand for a while. They're kind of at the end of their life. It's meat I have in the freezer that I need to use up before I buy more meat. So I'm gonna be using up food and not wasting it, and I'm gonna be saving money because I skipped a grocery shopping trip this weekend. So it's gonna be great, and I'm excited to use up some stuff that I need to use up, and I'm excited to show you guys like ways to be resourceful in your kitchen. This is the biggest way to be resourceful in your kitchen and use up ingredients is shopping out of your pantry. And this is something that you should incorporate into your weekly routine, monthly routine. Before you go grocery shopping, you should be doing this anyways. You should be going into your pantry, going into your freezer, seeing what ingredients you have on hand, and if there's anything you can cook before buying new ingredients. So with that, we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna show the first meal that I'm gonna be making this week. Before we get into it, I just wanted to say welcome to anyone who's new. If you're new here and you like cooking videos and grocery hauls, I hope you'll subscribe to my channel. And if you're not new, thanks for coming back. So with that, today we're gonna be making like a teriyaki stir fry with ground turkey and cauliflower rice. When I was planning my meals this week, one thing I knew I wanted to use up was some ground turkey. I have 4 packs of ground turkey in my freezer, and I feel like ground turkey, I buy it and then I never like use it up first. I always gravitate towards my chicken and ground beef, but I need to get through some ground turkey. So tonight what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a stir fry, and the ground turkey was the inspiration, but then I looked in my fridge and I have this Trader Joe's soyaki sauce that I need to use up. This is basically a teriyaki sauce that you can use for different meats. So I was like, let's make a stir fry, and it's super easy. Stir fries, of course, you can really use any type of meat that you want, and I feel like it's one of those dishes that most of the times you're gonna have stuff on hand to make a stir fry. Pull out any type of meat you have in your fridge, beef, chicken, pork, ground turkey, ground chicken. You can make a stir fry. If you have like soy sauce, sesame oil, like a type of teriyaki marinade in your fridge, you can use that. Also, you can make with rice, but we're gonna use up this rice cauliflower that I have. This actually expires soon. I was checking the date on this and it expires in March. So it's February now, so this is a perfect opportunity to use up this rice cauliflower. Very healthy for you. Also a great way to get some additional vegetables. And then I'm gonna use some frozen broccoli with our stir fry. Now, if I was like making a proper stir fry and like wanting to make it taste really good and have extra vegetables, I would add like zucchini, bell peppers, onions. But again, like didn't go to the grocery store. We're just gonna use what we have on hand. But this is a nice quick meal you can make on the weeknights, and it's going to be a really nice healthy meal for us to eat.
Wanna run from my given disaster. Speed away from the holy mind. Pride. That's where I never thought it would matter. If I'm gone by now, all my weakness keep on linger on repeat like it will be my favorite song.
I have my turkey browned in the skillet, and I'm just gonna heat up my veggies at this point. So I wanted to share this kitchen gadget that's probably my favorite kitchen gadget that I own. This is a little steamer veggie pot. This one is made by Pampered Chef. I actually have a smaller size of this as well. I use this all the time. You can put frozen vegetables in it, a little bit of water, and then you just snap the lid closed, microwave for about 5 minutes. You drain the water, and then your veggies are cooked perfectly. So I will try to see if I can find something similar to this on not on Pampered Chef, on like Amazon, and see if that exists. I'm not sure if it does, but if I find it, I'll link it for you guys, because I highly recommend, if you know someone who sells Pampered Chef, this is definitely worth getting. So I also ended up making rice because I kind of want to have leftovers for lunch also. So I think what I'm going to do is we're going to use the rice to stretch this. I'm going to put the rice cauliflower in the skillet with the turkey and the broccoli, and we're going to like eat it over top of the rice.
But you got me good, you got me good. I keep on driving till it bends, still it feels like I pretend. Keep on driving and driving along the road tonight. Lost my head, don't feel my back between the jars and bottle jack. Just me and all the red lights. Keep on driving and driving.
Back for another shelf cooking recipe. Today is Tuesday, so we're gonna do Taco Tuesday, and this recipe is like a tried and true recipe for me. I've been making this recipe since college. We're gonna make crock-pot chicken tacos. Now, a friend of mine who I interned with actually was the one who told me about this recipe, and I know people do it a variety of ways. Some people will call this salsa chicken. I don't call it salsa chicken because the key ingredient for me to make this is Rotel tomatoes, which today we're just going to use Lidl's brand. So it's just diced tomatoes with green chilies. But I know some people will do salsa, a jar of salsa instead of Rotel and taco seasoning. You could do either. Today we're actually going to add some salsa though, because my chicken breasts are massive and I just want to make sure there's enough sauciness to the chicken. But this recipe is just one of those that I always kind of have on the back burner. I always pretty much have taco seasoning. I almost always have Rotels in my pantry, and I conveniently had these corn tortillas left over from a recipe that I made a couple weeks ago. So we want to use those up, and we have all our ingredients for chicken tacos, so it's going to be perfect. So what I'm about to do is I'm about to throw this all in the crock pot. This is the definition of a dump and go slow cooker recipe. Guys, I'm going to be honest. I have like zero motivation today. Like, I feel emotionally and physically burned out, and I just can't be bothered to do any type of involved cooking tonight. And I know a lot of you guys probably feel like that occasionally too. So we're just going to do the bare minimum today. This is a perfect recipe for weeknights when you're just not feeling like doing anything extravagant for dinner. So I'm going to show you guys how I throw this together. It's literally so easy. And then tonight we're just going to serve it with cheese. I have a lime in my fridge that we can use just to kind of squeeze some juice on top when we're about to eat. I also have 2 avocados I need to use up. And I think we have a little bit of sour cream left. So we got all the taco toppings, so it should be a really good dinner. So let's go ahead and throw this in the crock pot. I've seen people just throw the Rotel or the salsa and the taco seasoning directly in the crock pot over the chicken. But I prefer to mix everything ahead of time and combine it and then pour it over the chicken, because I think it lets the taco seasoning really incorporate with the salsa slash rotel. And I just want to make sure that that spice is like infused evenly into the chicken. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pour our rotels into a mixing bowl or measuring cup. And then I'm also going to throw in, this is just probably about like a half a cup, maybe even just a quarter cup of salsa. There's not that much left. I just kind of want to use this up at this point. Get it out of the fridge. I gotta make it to the grocery store this weekend, like for sure, because we are really running pretty low on food, guys. Okay, then I'm gonna take approximately 3 tablespoons of taco seasoning. This is my homemade taco seasoning. I need to make some more. This is probably about 2 tablespoons, maybe 2.5. This is what I'm gonna use, but if I taste it later and I feel like it doesn't have enough seasoning, I do have some cumin and chili powder and stuff on hand that I can kind of add a little more seasoning if I feel like I need it, but this is probably honestly gonna be fine. I find that my homemade seasonings seem to be a lot more flavorful than the packets, and I feel like I just talked about this in a video, but I just prefer making the homemade taco seasoning. One, it's a lot more flavorful, like I just said, but it has way less preservatives in it than the store-bought. I do buy the store-bought occasionally, but so that's it. So literally I just stirred this, and then we're gonna go ahead and pour it over our chicken. So I'm just gonna pour the salsa mixture directly over the chicken. And I'm glad I did add the salsa to the rotel mixture, because I don't think I would have had enough liquid to coat the chicken breast. And that is exactly how simple it is. And so this recipe takes about 5 minutes to throw into the crock pot. Literally so easy. Here is the final look before we put the lid on. So I'm gonna cook this on 4 hours on high, only because it's already 1:15. And the bottom of my chicken breasts were just a little bit frozen still, so just want to make sure they cook through all the way. But if you don't want to cook it on high and you're going to cook it all day long, you can go ahead and cook it on low for 8 hours. I will check in with you guys tonight when we're about to eat dinner and everything is cooked.
In the heat from a hot California, I forgot how you looked like in rain. I swear I never thought it would matter if I'm gone by now. All my weakness keep on linger on.
The next night we still had a good amount of salsa chicken left over, so I decided to repurpose the leftovers and make burrito bowls. We had jasmine rice on hand, and we also had a Trader Joe's Mexican style roasted corn, which is super yummy. So I went ahead and boiled the rice. I'm using jasmine rice, which is a favorite of ours. It cooks rather quickly compared to normal rice. And then I went ahead and microwaved the corn. I also had 2 corn tortillas left over, so I decided to make a mini quesadilla. It was my first time using corn tortillas in a quesadilla, and it actually turned out surprisingly good. We really enjoyed it. And then lastly, we went ahead and topped the cooked corn with the cojita cheese. It's cooked in a really yummy sauce. And then we went ahead and built our burrito bowls. I'm back for our last and final shelf cooking recipe. I don't even know if I can call this a recipe. This is just like a holy grail shelf cooking staple item that I always have in my freezer ready to go. And we're gonna make a ham steak tonight. Now, if you're not familiar with a ham steak, it's basically just like a giant slice of ham. You can get them in your meat section, and I actually like to pick mine up at BJ's Wholesale Club. Usually you can get like a 3-pack for really cheap, and they're perfect to just throw in the freezer for when you need an easy weeknight dinner. It's perfect for shelf cooking. The nice thing about this is all you have to do is really heat up the ham in a skillet, and then you can just serve it with your favorite side dishes. So tonight we have some leftover potatoes and carrots that we're gonna be making. Well, not even making, I'm just gonna be reheating them because they're leftovers. I also have leftover mashed potatoes. I can't decide which one I'm gonna eat tonight. And then I'm just gonna pop a frozen veggie in the microwave to have along with those items. So super easy. I will show you me preparing them, but before I do that, I wanted to go ahead and sign off and wrap this vlog up, and we'll finish up the video with some B-roll of me prepping my ham steak for dinner. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and that it was helpful. I always find these types of videos very insightful because I know it can be tough sometimes when you're kind of getting to the end of your groceries and you might be debating, do I really need to go to the grocery store? I do need to go to the grocery store, but I don't really have time. Is there anything I can make that I have on standby at home? And most times you definitely can. So I hope this provided you with some inspiration, some motivation, some ideas, maybe some recipes that you just want to have in your back pocket for future, just to have in case you have one of those nights where you need to whip something up and you need those items on standby. So I feel like I'm rambling at this point. Thank you guys so much for making it all the way to the end of this video. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate it if you could give this video a like and subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more content from me. Make sure you tune in next week because I'll be sharing a BJ's Wholesale Club grocery haul. So get excited for that. And until next time, I'll see you guys later. And cue B-roll of me cooking dinner.
Be like it will be my favorite.